Come in. It's past midnight. Where have you been? I've been calling you for hours, young lady. Every night, it's the same story. You think this is a hotel? That you can just waltz in and out whenever you please? I'm your mother, not your doormat. You know what? I'm done. I'm done with the sleepless nights, the constant worry. Tonight, you learn a lesson. You're not coming in. Go on, go back to wherever you were. Let's see how you like it out there. Maybe then you'll appreciate the home you have. The door clicked shut, the sound echoing in the silent street and in my heart. Tears streamed down my face, blurring the familiar porch light. I pounded on the door, my voice cracking as I begged her to let me in. Mom, please. I'm sorry. Please, just open the door. But the only answer was silence. A silence that felt colder and sharper than the night air. I had nowhere to go. My friends weren't picking up their phones. The city lights, usually a comforting sight, now seemed menacing and distant. Shivering, I started walking, with no destination in mind. Each step took me further away from home, further into a world I wasn't prepared for. The streets grew darker, emptier. I found myself under a desolate bridge, the concrete pillars offering a false sense of shelter. I huddled in a corner, trying to make myself small, invisible. I just wanted the sun to rise. But the night was far from over. From the shadows, figures emerged. Their laughter was cruel, their eyes predatory. Fear, cold and absolute, seized me. I tried to run, my legs tangled in terror. But they were faster. They closed in, and my world shattered into a million pieces of pain and darkness. That night, under that bridge, a part of me died. But my nightmare was only just beginning. When I finally regained consciousness, I was in the back of a moving van, bound and terrified. I was sold, like an object, and transported to a city I didn't know, a life I never asked for. The next morning, my mom woke up to an empty house. My bed was still made. She called my phone, over and over, each unanswered call amplifying her growing panic. She's just trying to scare me, she probably told herself. But as the hours bled into a day, and the day into a week, panic turned into a soul-crushing dread. She called the police, filed a missing persons report, and plastered my face on posters all over town. Her anger had vanished, replaced by a chasm of regret and despair. Every knock on the door, every ringing phone, was a flicker of hope that was just as quickly extinguished. Meanwhile, I was trapped in a living hell. Days blurred into a terrifying routine of survival. Then, I discovered I was pregnant. A constant, living reminder of the horror I had endured. But this tiny life growing inside me also ignited a spark. I had to live, not just for myself, but for my child. I managed to escape my captors, finding myself alone and pregnant on the streets of a strange city. I took any menial job I could find, scrubbing floors, washing dishes, anything to earn a few coins for a piece of bread. I slept in alleyways and abandoned buildings, clutching my growing belly, whispering promises to my unborn baby that we would make it. After my son was born, he became my entire world. Holding him, I knew I had to be strong. One day, while I was trying to soothe his cries on a park bench, a kind-eyed young man approached. He saw our desperation, my worn-out clothes, my baby's hungry face. He didn't ask questions. He simply offered help. A room in his shared house, a safe place for me and my son to stay until I could get back on my feet. His kindness was a lifeline in an ocean of despair. Years passed. I worked tirelessly, and with the help of that kind stranger who became a friend, I managed to build a small, stable life. My son grew into a bright, compassionate boy, his heart full of a kindness I tried to nurture every single day. He was my reason for everything, my joy, my redemption. I never told him the full story of his origins, only that we had to be strong for each other. One afternoon, my son came home from school, his face alight with purpose. "Mom," he said, "I met an old woman on the street. She was so hungry, and she looked so sad. I told her she could come here for a hot meal." He held the hand of a frail, elderly woman with tired eyes and clothes that had seen better days. She looked up, and my breath caught in my throat. The world tilted on its axis. Time rewound, and I was a teenager again, standing on a cold porch. It was her. It was my mother. Tears I thought had long dried up began to flow. "Mom." I whispered, my voice trembling. Her eyes widened, a storm of recognition, shock, and a decade of pain flashing within them. We stumbled into each other's arms, clinging to one another as years of separation and unspoken grief poured out in heartbreaking sobs. She told me how she never stopped looking, how every day for years was a torment of what-ifs, how her life became a hollow search for the daughter she had pushed away. Her guilt was a wound that had never healed. Through my tears, I looked at her, then at my boy, who was watching us with wide, concerned eyes. "Mom," I said, my voice thick with emotion, "this is your grandson." I explained that this wonderful boy, the one whose compassion had brought her to our door, was the son she never knew she had. My mother fell to her knees, hugging her grandson, a new wave of tears washing over her. In that moment, the broken pieces of our family began to mend. Fate, in its mysterious way, had brought us back together. We learned that day that punishment born of anger can break a family, but compassion can rebuild it. Family will always be family, and love, no matter how long it's been lost, can always find its way home. Thank you so much for watching our story today. If it touched your heart, please consider liking this video and subscribing to our channel for more content that explores the power of human connection. We'll see you in the next one.